Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you guys, like I said in my earlier video, that today I'm going to show you how to make animations using bubbles on your website. So I'm going to give you an example. Say you are going to create a website. People or the clients or the people who visit your website only get attracted to your website, will only get attracted to your website if your website looks amazing or you have some great contents to show. So to make your website look amazing, you can do a lot of styling using CSS, or you can make animations on your website so that it looks interesting, or you can do both. So today I'm going to create a animation using bubbles. I have this bubble picture here. I'll create animation using this bubble. I'll not make a website, I'll just give the page a background color, and on the page I will show how to make animations using CSS. So for that, let me first create a folder and name this folder bubbles, and I'm going to put this picture in that bubbles. First thing, let me first rename this picture. Now let me open this file with VS Code. So this is how the folder looks like now. You just got this bubbles picture, and I'm going to create a file which is index.html, and I'm going to create ender styling CSS page, which is style.css. So in the index.html, I'm going to give this title name animation, and I'm going to let me first give it a background color to the page. So for that, I'm going to use asterisk background color light blue. Also, I'm going to give margin 0 and padding 0. Let me first link the CSS. That's the mistake I do every day. Style.css. Let's save this and run it to the server and see how it looks like. So this is how it looks like now. It just got a full background which is light blue in color. Now we are going to add the bubbles. So for that, I'll create a div in the body and give this div a class which will be bubbles, and here I'm going to use the image in case the bubble image. So the image src was bubbles.png. So I'm going to use 7 bubbles in the whole page. So I'm going to copy this and paste it 6 times. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, I've got 7 bubbles. I'll get 7 bubbles in my page. Let's check this out, and you can see I've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 bubbles. So these are really very big to see. I'm going to style this and make this small and adjust to the page. So for that, I'll first go to style.css, and so here we are going to use bubbles img, and here we are going to use width, which will be equal to 50 pixel. Let's save this, and now you can see the width of this bubbles got smaller. So now to adjust this position of the bubbles, we are going to use the class which is bubbles, and here we are going to use width will be equal to 100%. Then we're going to use display flex. Then we're going to use align items center. Then we're going to use justify content space around. Then we're going to use position which will be absolute. Then we're going to use bottom will be 0. So we want 0%, like we don't need any space from the bottom. Now if you save this and see, you can see I have got 7 bubbles, and they are in the bottom and they got some space. Now we are going to the animation part. So for animation, we are going to use .bubble img, and here we are going to write animation bubbles 7-second linear, bubbles 7-second linear infinite. Then we are going to use the keyframes. Here I'm going to write add keyframes and give the name bubbles. Here we are going to write the percentage, like after completing what percent we are going to do what kind of animation do we want. So at 0% we are going to use transform translate y, which will be 0. Then we are going to use the opacity which will be 0. Like in the bottom, while starting the animation, the opacity will be 0. Now let's copy this and paste it 4 times, like 1 2 3 4 times. So while completing 50%, we don't need transform translate, and we want opacity to be 1. On completing 70%, we don't want transform translate, we just want opacity to be 1. While completing 100% of the animation, we don't want, we want transform translate here. It will be minus 8 deviates, and we want opacity to be 0. Okay, now that seems fine. Let's save this, and what's how it looks like. Okay, this is how the animation looks like now. It'll disappear in the top and it'll start from the bottom. But one thing is, it's, you know, the size of the bubbles are same and it's starting at the same time. There is no time delay with the bubbles, so we're going to add some time delay. We're going to change the size so that it looks nice. So for that, we are again going to style.css, and here we're going to use the end child. So for that, I'm going to write bubbles img and child. And child allow us to edit the number, like if I use end child 1, the first bubble will get edited. If I use end child 2, the second one will get edited. So bubble img end child 1, I want animation delay of 2 seconds here. Now let's copy this and paste it 7 times, as we have 7 bubbles. 3 4 5 6 7. So for end child 2, we are going to use animation delay of 1 second. For end child 3, we are going to use animation delay of 3 seconds. For end child 4, we are going to use animation delay of say 4.5 seconds. You can give any time delay you want. For the 5th bubble, we are going to use animation delay of 3 seconds. For the 6th bubble, we are going to use animation delay of 3 seconds. And for the last bubble, which is 7th, we're going to use animation delay of 6 seconds. Let's save this now, and you can see the bubbles are starting at different times. Like first bubble will start at different time and the second one will at different time. But the thing is, when I start the animation, both all the bubbles are aligned at the bottom. But I don't want that. I want all the bubbles to come from the bottom and end at the top. So to do that, I'll again go to bottom in image src, not image src, in bubbles. In dot bubbles, I'll make this bottom minus 70 pixel. So now if after making this minus 70 pixel, you can see all the bubbles are directly come from the bottom, and it will end at the top. So that's how animations are made. But the thing is that the size of the bubbles are the same. I have to differentiate these bubbles using the size. Differentiate them on the basis of their size so that it looks good. For that, again, I'm going to this end child, and for the first one, I'm going to use width, let's say, how much, 25 pixel. And for bubble 2, let's keep it like that. And for the third one, I'm going to use width of say 30 pixel. Then for the fourth one, we're going to use width say 15 pixel. It will be smaller, the bubble will be smaller. Then on the fifth one, let's say we're going to use the width of 35 pixel. That doesn't matter actually, you can give any size you want. Here we're going to give the width of 20 pixel. Then here we're going to keep it the same. Now it's got time delay 2 seconds, 1 second, 3 seconds, 4.5, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, and 6 seconds. Okay, this looks good. Let's save this now and watch it again. Okay, the size of the bubbles are different, but the thing is, the bubble is really very small. To make the bubble size bigger, we are going to increase the width. I'm not going to use 25 pixel here, let's say 40 pixel. Then 30 pixel is good, 15 pixel is really small, say 35 pixel. then 30 pixel, then 40, no, 35 again. Save this, and now watch it again. Okay, this looks good. We have got different time delay, different size of the bubbles. They are coming from the bottom and finishing at the top. This looks great. So that's how animations are created using bubbles. Like, just imagine if your website looks like this. The contents of the website, like the menu bar and the header and the footer or the paragraphs, will be there, and on the background the bubbles will be right there. One thing, the bubbles are really looking very sharp, so I'll decrease the opacity of the bubbles so that it looks good again. So here I'll use opacity 0.5. okay, now this looks fine. Bubbles got dim. You can even take different types of bubbles you want. So that's all for today. I hope this video helps you. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and that's all for today. Take care. Bye bye.